The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a golden hue over the coastal town of Seabreeze. The gentle lapping of waves against the shore harmonized with the distant laughter of children playing on the beach. Tom Lynch stood on the deck of his sailboat, the Sea Whisper, feeling the salty breeze whip through his hair. He often found solace in the water, yet today, the boat felt heavier than usual, as if the ocean itself was mourning alongside him. Tom, a successful businessman in his late 40s, had spent the last few months grappling with the devastating loss of his wife, Veronica. Her unexpected passing left a void that felt insurmountable, compounded by the shocking revelation of her affair. The memories of their life together flooded his mind, romantic dinners, shared laughter, and plans for the future. Each recollection felt like a knife twisting in his heart, a reminder of both their love and her betrayal. Connie, Veronica's younger sister, approached the boat, her footsteps light yet purposeful. She was a successful interior designer, known for her creativity and flair for transforming spaces. Today, however, her usual confidence was cloaked in concern as she saw Tom's silhouette against the setting sun. The siblings had been close for years, sharing a bond that only deepened after Veronica's death. "Tom," she called softly, her voice carrying over the breeze. "Can we talk?" Tom turned, forcing a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Sure, Connie. I could use some company." Connie stepped onto the boat, her presence instantly filling the air with a comforting warmth. As she sat beside him, the weight of unspoken words hung heavily between them. Connie had long harbored feelings for Tom, feelings she had buried deep out of respect for her sister's marriage. But with Veronica gone, those feelings began to surface, complicating their friendship. In the days following Veronica's funeral, Connie felt an irresistible pull to support Tom. She would often visit him, bringing homemade meals and helping him organize his thoughts. Yet each moment spent together only served to amplify the tension in the air. Tom was a storm of emotions, grief, anger, confusion, but Connie remained steadfast, providing a safe harbor in his turbulent sea of feelings. "How are you holding up?" Connie asked, breaking the silence. Tom sighed, leaning against the railing. "I don't know. Some days are better than others. But with Veronica gone, I feel lost." Connie nodded, her heart aching for him. "It's okay to feel that way. You're allowed to grieve." "But it's more than that," Tom replied, his voice tinged with frustration. "I can't shake this feeling of betrayal. How could she do this to us?" As he spoke, a wave of emotion surged within him, anger battling against the deep sorrow that had become his constant companion. Memories of Veronica, now tinged with doubt, swirled through his mind. The realization that she had hidden a part of herself from him felt like a betrayal of the deepest kind. Connie placed a comforting hand on his shoulder, sensing the turmoil brewing within him. "You're not alone in this, Tom. I'm here for you, always." Tom turned to face her, his expression softening. "I appreciate that, Connie. It's just, everything is so complicated." In the quiet that followed, Tom felt the tension shift. The air felt charged, and Connie's gaze lingered on him, filled with an unspoken longing. It was as if the world around them faded, leaving only the two of them and the weight of their shared history. "Do you remember that time we went sailing as kids?" Connie asked, trying to lighten the mood. "You kept insisting on taking the boat out even though it was stormy. I was terrified." Tom chuckled, a genuine smile breaking through his grief. "Yeah, you were clinging to the side like it was the end of the world. But we made it back." "Barely," she laughed, her eyes sparkling with nostalgia. As they reminisced about simpler times, Tom felt the weight of the past slowly lift, if only for a moment. He was reminded of the joy that sailing had once brought him, before it became a painful reminder of Veronica's absence. "Maybe we should go sailing again," Connie suggested, her voice hesitant yet hopeful. "It might help clear your mind." Tom hesitated, guilt creeping into his heart at the thought of enjoying something without Veronica. "I don't know if I can do that," he admitted, feeling torn between a desire for freedom and the chains of grief that held him captive. "You deserve to feel joy again," Connie encouraged, her gaze steady. "It's okay to move forward, Tom. Veronica wouldn't want you to be trapped in this pain. Tom looked out at the water, where the sun's reflection danced on the waves like flickering memories. Perhaps Connie was right, perhaps he needed to find a way to honor Veronica while also allowing himself to heal. As their conversation deepened, Tom found himself grappling with emotions he hadn't anticipated. The guilt of moving on mingled with an undeniable attraction to Connie, who had always been a steadfast presence in his life. She was strong, independent, and had a warmth that made him feel safe. "Let's plan a day on the boat," Connie urged, her tone lightening. "Just the two of us. A fresh start, you know?" Tom met her gaze, seeing the determination in her eyes. "Okay, I'm in. But no storms this time," he added with a small grin. As they made plans, a spark of excitement ignited within Tom. He felt a flicker of hope, a sign that perhaps he could begin to let go of the past and embrace the possibilities of the future. But with that hope came uncertainty. Could he truly move on from the memory of his wife, or would he forever be haunted by her choices? As the sun set on the horizon, casting shadows over the water, Tom knew the journey ahead would be filled with challenges. Yet with Connie by his side, he felt a flicker of light breaking through the clouds of his grief, illuminating a path toward healing and renewal. As the days passed, Tom found himself increasingly torn between his memories of Veronica and the new, burgeoning feelings he harbored for Connie. The planned sailing trip loomed closer, and with it came a mix of anticipation and dread. Would he be able to separate his past from the potential for a new beginning? On the morning of their sailing excursion, Tom woke to the sound of seagulls crying overhead, the sun already casting a warm glow over Seabreeze. He took a deep breath, the salty air filling his lungs, and felt a tingle of excitement ripple through him. He dressed quickly, putting on his favorite sailing shirt, a faded blue that Veronica had always said brought out the color of his eyes. As he stepped outside, he noticed Connie arriving, her hair tied back, wearing a light sundress that fluttered in the breeze. The sight of her brought a smile to his face. They exchanged pleasantries as she joined him on the boat, and as they cast off, the world around them began to fade, leaving only the two of them in the vast expanse of water. Once they were out on the open sea, Tom felt the weight of the world slowly lift. The sun glinted off the waves, and laughter filled the air as Connie took the helm, her enthusiasm infectious. They navigated through the gentle swells, and with each passing moment, Tom felt more alive. For the first time in months, he found himself laughing, the sound echoing against the serene backdrop of the ocean. But as the day progressed, the mood shifted. Just as they reached a secluded cove, the tranquility was shattered by the unexpected arrival of two figures in a boat that pulled alongside them, detectives Janich and Philippon. "Mr. Lynch?" Janich called out, his voice steady but firm. Tom felt a rush of apprehension as he turned to face them. "What are you doing here?" he asked, confusion etching his features. "We need to ask you some questions regarding Veronica's disappearance," Detective Philippon said, his tone clipped and professional. Connie shot Tom a worried glance, sensing the sudden tension that crackled in the air. Tom's heart raced as the implications of their visit settled in. "Is this about her affair?" Tom asked, his voice rising slightly. Detective Janich nodded, his expression serious. "We've uncovered some information that suggests there might be more to Veronica's story than you know." Tom felt blindsided, his mind racing as the painful memories of betrayal resurfaced. "What do you mean?" he demanded, anger and confusion mingling in his chest. As the detectives began to question him, Tom found it difficult to focus on their words. His thoughts swirled with images of Veronica and the life they had built together. How could she have done this? Did she ever mention anyone specific? Detective Philippon pressed. Anyone who might have caused her to leave without a trace? Tom's mind flashed to the fleeting suspicions he had brushed aside in his grief, the late-night phone calls, the lingering glances. "No. I didn't know of anyone," he stammered, feeling the weight of each word like a stone in his gut. The detectives exchanged glances, their investigation only intensifying his feelings of betrayal and confusion. As they continued to question him, Connie stood by, her heart aching for Tom. She could see the pain etched on his face, the conflict raging within him. Finally, after what felt like hours, the detectives left, leaving a thick cloud of unease